and welcome to the update for the week of June 20th. Mostly what I have for you this week is housekeeping information. I've started looking at your Healthy Living projects from Module 2, and there are a couple things that need a little bit of improvement. Make sure that you are fully explaining the entire concept. A module concept starts with a big header. You can find it in the table of contents for that particular chapter, and either in your downloaded ebook or in your online materials. And you need to explain everything that you find from there to the next big module header in your own words. So one paragraph is probably not going to do it. Most of these concepts are many pages long. So I get the feeling that some of you are rushing through this a little bit, and I understand that. I know there's a lot of material in a short time. So please make sure that you're really putting some time into that, because that's not a place that you want to lose points. In addition, make sure that everything you tell me is specific and can be measured, and make sure that when you list a module concept, that you also reference where you got it. So I need to have the header as it's written in the book for each one, and the chapter that it came from. So that's the way that you're referencing your material, so I know what it is that you're describing, and I can see if you're describing what you said you were describing correctly. So those are the things that are the most concerning to me. Some of you may need to go back and review the SMART goal chapter. When you're writing SMART goals, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal, it needs to be in SMART goal form. And that's really just a formula. It's making sure that you put everything into that one sentence that is required of a SMART goal. It meets all 5 of the criteria. So it's specific. You've said exactly what you're going to do. You haven't used any generalizations like I will eat better or I will increase my activity, because those things cannot be measured. You have to say what you're promising to increase it to. It needs to be measurable. It needs to give as much detail as you can, but you don't have to put your action plan in there. Your action plan goes in the action plan sections. It needs to be achievable. So if I were to say I'm going to lose 40 pounds by next May, that's achievable, but 40 pounds by the end of this semester is not achievable. So make sure that you're thinking about the fact that we have 5 weeks left when you're saying what you're going to do. And if this is a mini goal, if this is what you're going to do about cardiorespiratory fitness, and you're just going to do a 2-week goal or a 1-week goal, make sure that you could do what you need to do in that amount of time. Make sure that your goal is time-bound. So you said when you're going to be able to measure and expect that you have completely achieved that goal, whatever you've said for yourself, and that's part of the achievable thing as well. So those are the things that I've noticed mostly some of you are missing, and if you'll go back and check on that, that's really important. Okay, so for this upcoming module, there are a lot of assessments. Part of the assessment deal is because traditionally when you assess your muscular strength, you just go in and do a calculation based on your body weight. And that assumes that your body weight is a normal weight for you. So if you are underweight, you might be able to lift much more than that. If you are overweight, you might be able to lift much less than that. So we're going to ask you to go ahead and determine what your normal body weight, your recommended body weight would be, so you can use that number when you're going out to lift. And I'm always very conscious of that, because that doesn't help you lift anything. So for me, I'm a little over where I would like to be by 5 or 6 pounds right now, and I would like to get the benefit of my assessment number being where it really should be for the amount of muscle mass that I have. So those are some things that you may want to consider as you go forward. Now when you get to the part where it asks for your adjusted weight, what it's giving you the number, it's telling you whether you need to add 5 pounds or subtract 15 pounds or whatever that is. That's the number we're going to look at. I'm not looking for you to put +5 or -10. I'm looking for you to actually do the calculation. And I think the program will pretty much do most of that for you. That's the amount of weight you want to start at. make sure you check and make sure that the program has done what it's supposed to do before you hand that over to me when you upload it. But that's telling you, for you to do health-related muscular strength workouts, that's the number that you would start at based on what you've been able to lift in your assessment. Okay? The other thing, be really careful when you're talking about the functional fitness piece. Last semester I got a lot of people who said, I'm going to improve my functional fitness by doing these things that I did on my assessment over and over and over again. And that showed me a lack of understanding about functional fitness. Make sure you really go in and read and understand what functional fitness is all about. So functional fitness is something that helps you go about doing your everyday things. That test determines whether you are functionally fit, but it's not an exercise program to help you become functionally fit. So that's another thing to be careful about. Remember that muscular endurance, you can do that by working out in the gym, but you can also get endurance by doing cardiovascular or cardiorespiratory or aerobic fitness activities, because those all require endurance, and when you do them over and over again, you improve your endurance. And that VO2 max number that you measured in the last module is partly a measure of endurance, because if you're able to provide your body with the oxygen that it needs throughout the exercise period, and you can do that for a long time, that's endurance. So sometimes I get people who say, I just don't want to go to the gym and work out. Well, you can work on muscular endurance other ways. You can work on functional fitness other ways. You can go do sports activities or work in your garden, or there's lots of different things that you can do. Vacuum your house over and over again. Lots of things you can do that will help you improve your muscular endurance. Muscular strength really requires that you move a significant amount of weight, and it can be your own body weight. When you do push-ups, they are partly a muscular strength activity and partly a muscular endurance activity. So there are lots of things you can do. You can do pull-ups on a bar, and that will the same thing as doing, essentially the same thing as doing curls, but you're moving your body weight instead of moving a barbell or a dumbbell. So there's lots of options for that. Don't feel like you have to necessarily go into the gym, and read those parts of the chapter carefully. Again, please take your time with the Healthy Living Project, because the more information you give me, the more points I can award you. If you don't tell me something, even if you know it, I don't know whether you know it or not, and I can't give you points for that. So please think about that as you go. Most of you are doing a really good job on your goal writing now. It's improved tremendously. There's some of you have a little bit farther to go. Remember, when you're writing to me about the things that you're going to insert into your program to help with these different elements of wellness, that you are writing them in SMART goal form. And if you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to hearing from you.